everyone, welcome back. This is Ride Talk, and today we're going to ride through this Melbourne CBD and check out this skate park, which doesn't look that good, but I'm still super curious to check it out. It's called North Bank Skate Park, aka North Melbourne Skate Park, aka West Melbourne Skate Park. So yeah, I think it's right on the border of the neighbourhoods, that's why it's a little bit confusing. But yeah, going to be riding through Melbourne CBD, so should be pretty good. There's usually always something going on in the city, and yeah, also it's right near Docklands as well, Docklands waterfront, so probably check that out after. But yeah, it should be pretty good. See how we go. We are currently in Richmond, which is pretty close to the city, and it's around 17 degrees today. A little bit of a later start today for me, but yeah, I just wanted to make the most of it because it's winter right now in Melbourne, and yeah, not too many sunny days, so why not go out for a ride. Here we're just taking Elizabeth Street today, and you can see, yeah, it's a closed off bike lane. They got the projects on the left, or commission housing in Australia they call it, and on the right I think is just kind of normal housing, but back a little ways they were starting all new development. So yeah, I guess being close to the city, they're starting to put more apartments up and stuff. But yeah, these commission housing has been there for ages actually. But yeah, funny story actually, because I ended up having a chat with someone there who was there from I think the 70s and 80s, and he said basically Richmond was just like super hectic back in those days. He used to live in the housing commissions or the projects there. And he said, yeah, it used to be like super wild, tons of crime and stuff, and it's kind of like really mellowed out now. But yeah, he used to be there back in the 80s, and he said the buildings there, the tall buildings, they used to have like a bridge or a passageway where you can go from one building to the other, and then it used to be basically open, kind of like a normal bridge, like open so you can look out or get fresh air or whatever. But then he said, he pointed up to the bridge, and he said basically they're all boarded up now, and he said the reason why they were boarded up or they put glass in was because there was too many people kind of jumping out from there. So yeah, that's pretty hardcore, I think. So yeah, that's kind of like a I guess like a fun fact that you probably won't hear from anywhere else. So yeah, we're in East Melbourne now, which is getting close to the city. East Melbourne's right next to the Melbourne CBD, and probably a super rich area. You can tell by the houses and stuff, and they got nice tennis courts over here. Usually how it goes is an area that's closer to the city is usually more expensive. But yeah, they got some nice facilities, a nice park here on the left with a nice playground as well. And you can see the bike lane is still going all the way towards the city, so it's been kind of like protected for this whole time. And you can see, yeah, some of the bigger buildings. I think there's also a hospital up here on the left as well. But yeah, this is a little bit of a hill dip here, but yeah, it wasn't too bad. Obviously, with the sun out and everything, was pretty nice. But just on this corner, on the left here, we have Fitzroy Gardens, which is pretty big park, I'd say. You can't really ride your bike in there, but it's a nice park and you can walk around, and there's tons of stuff to check out. There's fountains and big trees. There's also, here's what I was saying about watching out for people coming in the cars. Okay. A nice little greenhouse there, which is I think pretty big. You can go in for free. There's also a cafe, and yeah, all little things that you can kind of check out, which is pretty cool. And sometimes they have little events going on there as well. But yeah, super open park, pretty nice. I'd definitely give it a check out if you can. You can see up here that the road was blocked. Usually you can just ride straight and go straight into the city, but yeah, no problem on a bike, so I'm just going to go one street over. Yeah, I wasn't sure what was going on, but nonetheless I can just take a little right here. But yeah, it seemed like they got like construction on, or they got the road closed for some reason. Sometimes I guess, yeah, this kind of stuff happens often in Melbourne, but yeah, I don't think it ever comes up on Google Maps or anything, so you can't really plan for it. So knowing the streets a little bit better allows you to just to go around. This guy was pretty funny. It was like indicating right, but then turned left. Lucky I didn't try to ride next to it. So yeah, basically heading towards the street that I want to go on. You can see the trams there, but it looks like they blocked the whole road, which was quite surprising. But yeah, it seemed like there was some type of protest going on. I wasn't sure what type of protest was going on, but yeah, there's been heaps in Melbourne lately, obviously with recent events and everything. But yeah, I kind of felt a little weird riding through the event, but yeah, I just took it slow, so it was all right. But yeah, you can see tons of people out. I think this was on a weekday too, so I was kind of quite surprised. Usually they do most of the protests on the weekend, but yeah, tons of people out, you know, supporting the cause. But yeah, it wasn't. I think the whole protest wasn't too long because it ends right here. It looks like they got the cones up again, so yeah, I wasn't too sure what was going on. I tried looking it up on Google and on Reddit to see if I could find out what was going on when I got home, but I couldn't find anything. So yeah, if anyone knows, let me know. I'm interested. So yeah, this is officially Melbourne CBD, or it's called Melbourne. Sometimes we'll put Melbourne CBD, like Central Business District. But yeah, it's always fun going through here because yeah, a lot of cars and stuff, and seem like tons of people are out. But yeah, with the skateboard, you can see that it gets a little tight sometimes, and you know, just because tons of cars, road work, all that stuff. But most of the time, you can still squeeze through because the cars are always standing like stuck at traffic lights. Yeah, you just gotta kind of watch out for like buses and stuff. You don't want to get run over, obviously. I would say if you can ride into the city, it's like way better because like, yeah, one, you're not kind of stuck in traffic, and also, I'm walking here by the way, if any officials are watching. Yeah, it's illegal to ride your bike on the footpath in Australia, and you must have a helmet, and you must have a belt and 2 reflectors, and all that stuff is, yeah, again, it's on my bike in case any officials are watching. Make sure you read up about it if you're riding in Australia, so that you know your rights, basically, because they love rules over here. And speaking of that, a law that might be helpful for you to know is that if a car's passing you, they have to give you at least 1 meter of space, so that's 3 feet. And if they're going over 60 kilometers per hour, they have to give you 1.5 meters of space. This also doesn't apply the other way around, so if you're a bike passing a car, it's not law for you to give them space, and that's because the vehicle's occupants aren't at risk when you're passing them versus the other way around. Obviously, do your own research, and just remember that no matter how right you are, you're always putting yourself at risk with vehicles, so try to stay safe out there. We're currently on Lonsdale Street, and I'd say Lonsdale Street is one of the main streets that cuts through Melbourne City. A lot of shopping centres. You got QV, Queen Victoria building on the right, which is a large shopping centre. Most people just call it QV. And here we're just about to cross Swanston Street. I think I showed it in the last couple of vids, but Swanston Street is kind of like the main strip. And then down here we got Emporium on the right, which is a big shopping centre. You can see the walkway joining it across to, I think it's Melbourne Central. So yeah, tons of shops there. Yeah, great for shopping. Lots of people. Lots of kind of food places. I think it goes up like, can't remember, like maybe like 6 stories up. So yeah, it's pretty big overall. But yeah, it cuts across, and this is basically it. this is Elizabeth Street that we just crossed, and then that's basically that was the busiest part of the city back there. But yeah, I'm just kind of like kept riding across. There is still, you know, shops and stuff up here, restaurants and all that kind of stuff, but it definitely becomes less and less, and becomes more into kind of the business buildings. They probably have shops on the bottom, but yeah, more of a business district now. So basically where we're headed, we're cutting through the city and we're heading towards Spencer Street, which is all the way on the other side. And Spencer Street is probably known for Southern Cross Station, where if you ever fly into Melbourne or visit Melbourne, you'll probably take public transport or you know, a bus to Southern Cross, and that's probably what you'll remember seeing first when you first come into Melbourne. But yeah, it's usually pretty busy there. They got a super big train station there. And you can, yeah, usually you see a lot of people with like suitcases and stuff like that, or people that, you know, catch the train from outer suburbs to in here for work or whatever. But yeah, usually it's pretty busy, and you can see after the hill is basically all downhill, so you got to pick up a little bit of speed here, and you can see, yeah, right on the end, running perpendicular to this street is Spencer Street. Did have to pull up at this light though, but yeah, basically Lonsdale Street cuts all the way through the city, all the way there. You can almost make out the word Spencer in the background there if you got good eyes. But yeah, well, a lot of buses take this road as well, so yeah, just got to be careful you don't get squashed. Also, if you get out or you get here and it seems super confusing after you hop out of Southern Cross Station, because there's just tons of people and tons of signs and stuff. Just, yeah, it's not that bad actually. Just head towards Collins Street and look for the tram, and then the tram will take you to all the way up Collins Street to Swanston Street, and then that will be kind of like the main area. So yeah, easier than it looks, I think. Yeah, if you're riding a bike here, I probably wouldn't recommend it unless you had to, just because it's super busy on this road. And yeah, usually I don't even ride here too much. I just have no really real reason to kind of come up this end, but yeah, today we're kind of checking it out. The skate park is basically just up here a few more blocks, so yeah, not too far. But it looks like here on this section it turns into a bike path, but what I'm going to do here, just because I'm unsure of the road, I'm just going to cross the road and then take a right after this building. But yeah, you can definitely see, like, yeah, tons more people out. You might also just notice that we've entered the Docklands neighborhood, which is kind of funny because Docklands is more known as over the bridge where the docks are, but here is still considered, this little area here is still considered Docklands, which I think with the zoning is quite funny, because I feel like they should have separated with the bridge. But yeah, we're still in Docklands right now, only for a small section. And then you can see here I'm just riding down the hill. After riding down the hill, it's going to be, once we cross that main road, it's going to be West Melbourne. So yeah, this Docklands little corner pocket here is, the area itself is quite small, but I thought it's better just to show you guys the accurate names for the neighborhoods. So yeah, this is kind of the main road. Once you cross this main road, it becomes West Melbourne now. You can see a little dedicated bike path a little bit. This section of West Melbourne is basically like right on the edge of West Melbourne and North Melbourne. But yeah, it's quite funny because I think this area, for one, is really just kind of like residential areas. Some businesses here and there, but obviously more kind of residential. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pass a station called North Melbourne Station, but it's actually in the West Melbourne neighborhood, which is pretty funny because I think because it's just right on the edge, they decided to name it North Melbourne Station because probably people get off the station to go to North Melbourne. But yeah, it's funny with the zones and the streets how it's actually in West Melbourne. So yeah, that's kind of also why this skate park is kind of weird. It has like two names for it. If you look on it on Google Maps, like I guess people can't decide if it's in West Melbourne or North Melbourne. So yeah, a little bit of funny zoning in that aspect. You can see there's the station on the left. But yeah, tons of train lines that go past there. And then here you can see a lot of buses as well. Some of the buses, they replace the trains during track work, but most of the buses also take you out to where you need to go. But yeah, just riding down here, we're almost there. You can just see underneath that bridge is the skate park, and it's also next to kind of all the train tracks. So yeah, if you ever need to find it, you can kind of just follow the train tracks and it's right there. So yeah, here we are pulling up. This is it. You can kind of see there's ledges, there's stairs, and it's kind of really funky. There's like a big long ledge. Just basically it's like Ledge City with a little ramp on the side, a little bank on the side. You can see there's a little kind of ledge block thing, and then some banks here, a little curved curb, more ledges here. I thought this is the other side of the ledge. I thought that side would have been cool as well if they waxed it up. This is like a bike path that shares it. You can see there's little fingerboard things on the top there. I'll get a closer look in a second. But yeah, basically a down kink ledge, little fingerboard spots that someone kind of made and put on there. You can see they put notches on the other side of the ledge, so I guess to deter people from skating. But yeah, here's more like fingerboard spots. But yeah, it's kind of weird kind of park. It's kind of, yeah, it just goes downhill a little bit and just more ledges and stairs. Honestly, yeah, the ground was, I'm gonna say, was pretty rough for a skate park. So yeah, it's kind of just like a weird park. This is where I'm just standing in the middle and just gonna give you an overview. But yeah, you can see this ledge. You can really only skate from top, kind of. I think some people skate as like a mani ledge or mani pad and then an out ledge, but the run-up's kind of weird as well. But you can see the height of it, and then the bank goes from steep to kind of less steep. And yeah, I kind of had to roll around, and you know, I tried skating the banks, tried skating some ledges, but yeah, I wasn't really having that much fun. I think it's kind of like a street spot without being a street spot. So you have like the challenges of like the rough ground and things not sliding and all that kind of stuff, like bad run up. But then it's at a skate park, so it's kind of, yeah, no point. You may as well just kind of skate street at that point. I think it's kind of like a skate park without the benefits of like the skate park. I would say if I was local to the area, it would be like a sick spot, because what you could do is you could just like build tons of stuff there. You can like wax everything out and, you know, get everything to slide. But yeah, and it's also undercover, so it would be kind of sick for rainy days. But yeah, for someone just like visiting, you can't really, yeah, claim the benefits too much. Or maybe if you're super good, you could enjoy it more. But yeah, as like an older person, I guess, just older for skating anyway, yeah, it wasn't really for me. Yeah, basically I'm just heading to Docklands now, and I just want to see if I can check it out before the sun sets. It's usually a pretty nice view over there, so I want to check it out. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Lately I've been seeing a lot of people, older people or people my age, picking up biking, especially, you know, people who used to skate or used to BMX or used to do some type of activity. They're really picking up biking and enjoying it, and it really makes a lot of sense. And I think, to me, it really is like a really good choice as you know, as an activity to do when you're older, because it hits a lot of things for me. And yeah, one of the things is really just the time aspect. When you know, when you're older, obviously you have you might have a family, you might have more obligations, you probably, you know, you have a job or you're trying to do something with your life. So you have a lot less free time, as they would say, than when you were younger. And the thing I love about biking is just you can just grab the bike and go, and it literally takes like 5 minutes to get the bike out, and you know, you can ride as soon as you step out your door, your garage or whatever, and you're kind of enjoying the activity straight away. Where if for example, if you used to skate, like you got to go, you know, find a spot to skate, you got to get to the skate spot, you got to, you know, kind of like warm up and then skate, and yeah, and then you got to land a few tricks to kind of get the same enjoyment. Where a bike, yeah, you can kind of like hop on and go, and you're doing it straight away. You also don't really need to plan at all. You can kind of just go. It's not like team sports where you gotta, you know, you have a time and a place to be every single week, and then you gotta go there, and yeah, if you miss out one time or you can't make it, then you miss out on that week. And then with a busy schedule, you can kind of fit it in anywhere as well. Like if you only have 10 minutes, or if you need to just go somewhere quickly, then you can just take the bike, and that's you're kind of fitting it into your you know, to your day without overtaking your day. And then you can kind of combine it with other activities as well. Like if you need to go grocery shopping, just take the bike, and you're basically killing two birds with one stone. Another reason is I feel like it's pretty easy on the body, well, compared to skating anyway. I know like people are sick of hearing it from older skaters, but when you get older, skating, like everything hurts more and you can't recover as fast. The days are gone where you skate for 8 hours a day. Now I basically, you know, I make a rule for myself. I try not to skate 2 days in a row. Otherwise it just becomes like too hard on the body and becomes enjoyable. But riding a bike, I could literally ride a bike every day and I wouldn't feel that bad. Like granted, you know, I'm not doing like 60k rides or anything, but yeah, I can still get a little bit of activity every day, and again, that helps with your health as well. So it's good for time, so flexible, and it's you can combine it with other activities, so it's kind of functional like groceries or commuting somewhere, and it's easier on your body, and it's relatively healthy for you as well. A bit of exercise, a bit of fresh air. And then the next thing I'd say is probably it's pretty cheap, I would say, or it's I wouldn't say cheap, but it's affordable. So yeah, like riding a bike, if you compare it to a car or other modes of transport, it's usually way cheaper depending on what bike you get. You know, you don't have to get the most expensive bike or the latest whatever, but yeah, it's relatively cheap. You don't have to pay for parking. You can ride up straight somewhere. You don't have to get a ticket or anything like that. You don't have to pay rego or insurance. All those things kind of add up as well. And then if you're into bike builds, I know I just said price, but if you're into like tweaking out your stuff, or you like customization, or you know, maybe you're just more, you're a creative person, you can really like tweak the bike out to how it is to you. It's personalized. You can build it however you want, and yeah, kind of get satisfaction out of it that way. And I know I'm relating back to skating, but skating, you kind of go skate a spot, sometimes you go build a spot and skate it. Building a bike in that aspect is like you build the bike and the bike becomes a spot, but then you get to ride it, which I think is kind of like super cool as well. That probably doesn't make sense for most people, or maybe it does, but yeah, it's kind of like art in a way, where you're like creating this thing and then you get to kind of experience it after. And then I'd say, I know there's plenty more things, but just the last thing I want to mention, I'd say, is pretty inclusive. So biking's been around for so long that, you know, whatever type of biking you're into, there is a community for it. So if you're into builds, there's community for that, you know, road racing or mountain biking, or even, you know, bike polo, or, you know, got to mention fixed gear. Like, there's so many different ways or different communities to ride a bike, and it's all, I feel like it's all pretty super inclusive. Maybe, you know, road racing is a bit elitist, but you can still find people that are kind of on your level as well. So for that reason, I think it's yeah, kind of super cool as well. You can kind of find your own community and the people, yeah, that you can kind of share the same type of hobby with. Obviously, if you're watching this, you probably like bikes already, but yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to kind of share the things that I think I like about biking, and, you know, maybe if you're on the fence or something, maybe you know, give it a go, see if you like it. It's nothing to lose, really. So yeah, after all that rambling, basically I'm just riding in docklands, just along the dock. You can see, you know, obviously there's lots of boats and stuff, but it's pretty nice here. It's pretty I don't think that many people come down here. It's pretty serene, actually, pretty quiet usually, but yeah, it's pretty nice to ride around, nice views. And here's the library at the end of the dock, and it's free. They got some cool stuff in there, like new technology, like they got a 3D printing lab, crafts lab. They have lots of things going on, cool books and stuff, progressive books. But yeah, it's pretty cool in there. Check it out. I've never been there before till this year, but it's pretty cool. And then here I'm just riding to the end of the dock just to kind of show you guys the view. I think, yeah, this was probably around, I want to say maybe like 5 o'clock. Maybe, yeah, it's getting close. The sun was starting to come down. But yeah, you can just ride down on all these docks here. They're all open. You don't need to break in or anything. You can just ride straight on. And this is I just parked the bike and just show you that view. You can see the smoke there. I don't know what that smoke's from, but yeah, it looks super cool, I think, with the sunset, the bridge, and you got, yeah, you know, just the reflection coming off the water. I probably don't have to explain it. You can probably just see it, but yeah, I think it looks super cool. And when I came out here, there was like no one out, you know, or like, you know, there's some people at the library, but not too many people walking around, so it made it pretty quiet. And then yeah, here's the rig, still going pretty strong. No bike check on this, but yeah, it's going pretty hard. I've been liking it with the basket on the front with the skateboard, but I think sometimes when I have the skateboard on the basket, I can't access the stuff in the basket, so I might figure a way where I can easily access my you know, like my phone, my camera, my keys and stuff. But yeah, that's just thinking out loud. But yeah, there's also like swans here if you want to feed the swans, or ducks. I don't know if people should or not, but I'm pretty sure people do. But yeah, there's all the swans kind of hanging out here, which makes it, yeah, pretty cool as well. These bars are World 878 bars, because I know someone's going to ask, so there you go. And yeah, sorry, no cafe this time, no bike check this time, no skateboard check this time, no pants check this time, but probably come up in the next Ride Talk videos. And yeah, if you are older and you go into biking for similar reasons or for whatever reason, yeah, let me know. Would like to hear it. If you're thinking about getting into it, yeah, give it a try. You won't regret it. Thank you everyone for their support, for all the comments on the 50k. Appreciate it, and just general support. Yeah, that basically wraps up the video. Hopefully you liked it. Let me know what you think, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.